Hello, colors. Welcome back to Viva Barca, and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to discuss on some interesting updates. We start with President Laporta, who have assured that Vitor Roque will be making his way to Barca in the January window. We are going to discuss on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barca will not sell any player during the upcoming January transfer window. We are also going to discuss more on that. So as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right out to the very end. Barcelona were not so keen to make a move in the January transfer window. Firstly, because the economic situation of the club does not allow for much room, and secondly, because both the board and the sporting department consider that the squad is strong enough to compete successfully for the remainder of the campaign. However, the team's recent performances are beginning to worry Barcelona's upper management, giving rise to the feeling that the season could end in a very terrible failure if no action is taken in the winter window. To that end, Sport is reporting that Barca are not ruling out some minimal measures to improve the squad. Above all, the attacking department, the performances there have been poor. President Laporta and the economic department are therefore trying to do everything in their powers to make signings if possible and if necessary. Now the focus is on finding new partners for Barca Studios, for instance, with a real influx of capital immediately, which would serve to increase the wage bill of the club. They are on the right track and there could be news before December 15. If this is achieved, the main focus is to bring Brazilian Vitor Roque in January, which appears or which happens to be the top desire for both Laporta, for both Deco, for both Xavi, and there had been some debates about Barca prioritizing the signing of a new pivot in January over Roque's arrival. But unless there are injuries in that area of the pitch or unforeseen departures, everything indicates that this is not going to be the way forward. It's not going to be the way forward. The hope is that Vitor Roque can bring some fresh air to an attack that has been too stuck since the beginning of the season. The Brazilian wonderkid has the okay from the coaching staff. He was signed because Deco was convinced that he can be an important player, and also Xavi Hernandez considers him to be an interesting option to provide goals. Vitor Roque, for his part, is waiting to be registered on 1st January, although he has not yet received confirmation. He was assured that something would be known by the 15th of November, but the negotiations to raise capital are still very complicated. Yeah, still very complicated. But of course, going by this report, the upper management of Barca want to do everything to ensure that Vitor Roque makes his way to Barca next in January, talking about just 2 months' time. We have been talking about Vitor Roque quite a lot these past few days because Barcelona going through a lot, especially in the attacking phase. The upper management of the club are really eager to look for ways, to look for means to ensure that Vitor Roque can make his way to improve that attack. He's still 18 years old. It's not like he's coming to do an immediate change in the attack and make Barca come back to their very best scoring goals for fun. It's not like that. But of course, to bring in that competition, it's as if some of our players are very comfortable where they are. It has not been all too good a season for players like Lewandowski, players like Rafinha. Lamine Yamal is still too young and still inexperienced. Joao Felix also have been quite disappointing lately, failing to score in the last 11 matches. I mean, nobody saw this coming. So things are going down the drain. We need that firepower. How are we going to defend our La Liga title with the way we are playing? And if we're not scoring goals, how are we supposed to go out there? Had it been we had that strong defense like we did last season, I'd say okay, better. But now Barca concede every single game. Like, I don't know. We have considered we're almost reaching the number of goals we considered the whole of last season in La Liga. We considered just 20 goals last La Liga season. You know, the defense really bailed us out of games. But this season, sorry, even attack, we don't even score goals, then we concede more. What do we expect? Then on to the final story of discussion. The summer transfer window saw Barca make many changes to their squad. With a host of players leaving the club as we approach the January window, Barca are facing the same economic challenges and must sanction more sales, especially if they are to sign new players or register someone like Vitor Roque. Um, you know, However, according to reports from Sport, Barcelona are facing a precarious situation as far as player sales are concerned. The club are open to sanctioning the departure of players who are having fewer minutes this season in an attempt to save some of the wage bill. However, none of the Barcelona players have any desire to leave the club in the upcoming January transfer window. Nobody. Barca therefore are going to have a difficult time trying to save new chips by getting rid of unwanted players. Apart from players not wanting to leave Barca, even the club's coaching staff is a bit reluctant when it comes to getting rid of players in January. Alonso, Roberto, Christensen among the players who have been linked with exits, but the club's coaching staff wants to keep hold of them as they are very sensitive about further trimming the squad and reducing the depth of the team. As per the report, Barcelona management will start evaluating the position of each and every player once the January transfer window closes. The club are also very firm about not extending the contract of expiring players unless they perform outstandingly well. So, guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time, bye bye.